Usama, thanks for doing the podcast.
Thanks for having me, bro. Let me get some. Let's see. Does this sound good, or should I get headphones? Probably.
You know what? It was actually much better without the headphones.
Fuck me then. Well, what if I do this? If I undo the. Okay, now, what about this? No, this is not happening.
No,
okay.
Those are like the headphones you get when you're buying $1 umbrella.
No, bro, they come with the dollar umbrella. You know what I'm saying? This is like, these are.
It's like you left Jersey City and you got an umbrella and headphones for $3.
Bro, these are Bodega brand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, even the Apple adapter is like, no, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not doing this for you. What adapter was that? Mini jack to?
That was the dongle. I have iPhone 11, so I gotta have to put the 3.5 millimeter in this.
All right, iPhone 11. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah. Well, listen, I got Bodega brand accessories, you know. So it's like, is the iPhone 11 even worth it if you're just buying? This is a Bodega dongle, and there's a Bodega headphones.
Yeah, you're doing well. I get it. Well, I usually Google the guest before we start, and I Googled you, and the first thing that came up is you had an article in Brown Girl magazine.
Yeah, bitch.
Where you're talking about how you could have gone to med school.
Yeah, bro. You didn't know this about me? I thought I told you this already.
I don't know if we talked about it, but or maybe you talked about it in your act and I forgot. But how do you feel? Do you still feel good about it?
Yeah, bro, I do.
Of course.
I do. I know I don't look like a brown guy. I look like the one brown guy who didn't make it to med school. But I was all up in that shit, dude. I was fucking gonna do med school. I was like, the week before I left, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do comedy in New York. And yeah, your inner uncle's coming out. You're just like shaking your head. You don't even know you're shaking your head. You're like, dude, what are you doing?
Oh no.
I love it. But no, dude, every passing day, I've been getting more congruent with myself. And I feel like if I didn't decide to do comedy, then from that decision 6 years ago, every passing day, I would have gotten less congruent with myself. And so not once, even when I was like fucking stealing sandwiches from grocery stores, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm doing this comedy, fuck yeah.
You definitely just finished teaching math because it says you're doing congruent triangles and working it into your pod.
Bro, I know you just came to this country, but words can mean two things, bro. I'm telling you, right? It's not just.
Oh, wow. I just came to this country. Okay. We calling the kettle brown.
Oh, yeah. Brown indeed.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. It's like once comedy or like the arts or something, entertainment gets a hold of you, it's hard to go back, and you never look back because there's so much like inner fulfillment from it.
Yeah, bro. I mean, every passing day, it's just a joy, dude. And I'm getting probably more poor than I've ever been, but it's like, dude. I mean, maybe have money and then just live a shit like 9 to 5 is just a shit life. Most of my day is a shit day. And then those people they hate not everyone, but the ones who do, they hate their job so much that they overcompensate in their free time. So it's like even their free time isn't evenness because they got to undo the bullshit by supercharging it with TV or sex or whatever. So there's no balance in either part of your life. It's like there's no salve. You're just always imbalanced. And I just can't live like that, bro.
Yeah, you have like you have jet skis and like you're slamming beers. Like,
dude, there's no like temperance with these losers. Because like they just I hate my life. Oh, hookers. There's just no. There needs to be evenness and serenity in your life. You can't achieve that when 9 hours of your day, I was doing math. I was like 9 to 5. What is that? 12 hours. Yeah. What is that? Fuck me. Most of your day is fucking shit. It's just, I can't imagine how people live like that. And obviously you got to ship to people. You got to like stop other people from following their dreams. Cause if they do that, then that would invalidate maybe what you do for a living and be like, oh, then you have to look at your own self and be like, did I make the right choices? No, much easier to just shit on that guy who's an artist or whatever.
I do love though, like the dentist who likes being a dentist, because that's like a really good dentist. Like when you find people who like their jobs that are good, you're like, I love you.
Dude, I wish that I loved doctor, because that would have been an easy life. I could have just been a doctor. That would have been great. A passionate doctor. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
Then again, you have a job too, I feel like, right?
I had job.
Oh, really?
Past tense, no more.
What? I didn't
Yeah.
know this. Oh shit. Are you a doctor now?
Yeah. I'm in med school taking the MCAT and not doing well.
Dude, you're fucking. That's how you're not in med school because you take the MCAT to get into med school. You don't take the MCAT after you're in med school, bro.
Listen, obviously I didn't go to med school. Okay.
Okay.
Don't flex on me with your like half year, first year knowledge of med school.
Bro, if that, not even.
How far did you get?
I got to 0. I got in, and that's it.
So you took the MCAT, got in?
I took the MCAT, got in to med school, Texas A&M, and I didn't go there. I just didn't. I deferred for a year, led my parents on with a lie, and at the end of that deferment, because you can basically, if you're infirm or your parents are infirm, you can like defer for a year and say like, hey, my parents are sick or I have to do this thing, and then they would grant you a deferment. So I forged this fucking doctor's note. My mom was going in for like some routine ankle thing, some appointment. And I told her to get a doctor's note saying that your ankle's broken. And she's like, what? I'm like, just get it. Just for your record. It's important to have it for your records. They say that she was fine, but I was like, all right, get it. And then I used that to defer my med school for a year.
So you already are a doctor. You're making notes, fake notes. Like you did the best part of doctoring. You're like, dude, what else is there now? Now I have to work.
I basically was the biggest doctor of all time. Yeah. Forging shit, writing a prescription for deferment.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, man, I was fucking, and my mom found that out one day, and that was the last time I got beat, but it was like, what a fucking beating that was. It was like me, I was 22 getting whooped by my mom. She was like unbelievably pissed when she found out.
Yeah. And you're a tall guy.
Dude, but my mom is low, so she's like easy access to the
gut
dick,
punch. Yeah.
Yeah,
but you've done some great things. You did the JFL, you did AGT, you're killing it in New York.
My mom knows what Just for Laugh Festival is. She loves that. Oh, it's a Howie Mandel thing, right? She has no concept what JFL is. So that was the one thing she knows is America's Got Talent. That's the one. That's finally, we gave something for her. She gets it. I saw me on TV. Okay, son, fuck. You can do this now.
Right. That's such a legitimate thing for the parents.
That's all it is. It took 8 years for them to be like, okay, I love you,
Totally. And then it's interesting because I saw your JFL thing live in Montreal.
Right.
And recently you did my Zoom show, which is like, an online show. And
yeah, I did.
I brought you up with the JFL talent. You're like, this is all I've done in the last 3 years. And I felt bad because it's obviously not true. But it's also true, like, I never thought when I was watching like you, Zach, and Simon at JFL New Faces that in 3 years you'd be doing my laptop show.
Bro, and I think we've all quit since then. Since that show, I hit him up. I'm like, we're done, right? It's over. No, those three are all funny dudes, and two are funny guys. I remember seeing Simon. He closed our New Faces, and he like smashed the fuck out of it. He did some weird character work, and it was like, oh, this is the motherfucking guy. And it wasn't all smashes, bro. That showcase JFL, people do it, and I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's not all kills. People sometimes do badly. It's all industry. It's an auditorium of industry.
Yeah.
So you got everyone from UTA to APA to head of voice acting at Paramount. We're talking everyone is in this theater. And so these are not people, you've done some of these industry shows. These are not laughers. These are not like, oh, yeah, well, they've seen everything. So they're like tough ones. Comics, when we see a through line, like I saw Simon there, I saw Zach there, and I was like, all right, this is the joke here is that we all still suck, and we're all, and I took your show and I made it the corpse of the joke, and I'll do it again, bitch. I'll do it again. But the idea that we're all three on the same show, it's too good to pass up.
Yeah, and I didn't even plan that. It just happened, and I was like, yes. Oh, yep, here we are.
That's great.
But it's also that's what's great about comedy to me of all the show business arts. It's like it's so like in the streets. It's so like you're so like back to where it is always. Like you don't rise up to this great plane. Like you see Sebastian Maniscalco go to the Comedy Store. You see like everyone who's made it all the way still do like spots.
Comedy is for the people, man. It really is a peasant art. If you're rich, you don't like comedy. You really don't. And if you're rich and you like comedy, you're one of those people who try to look poor. Those Williamsburg trust fund kids who wear corduroy because they think that's what poor people wear, whatever. So that's them trying to be poor. But real rich people do not enjoy comedy. That's not It's not for them.
You mean enjoy the grind of comedy or the?
Well, enjoy. What am I getting at? The idea is that rich people, really rich people, they don't enjoy comedy. It's a poor people's art. That's what makes it so accessible. That's what makes, like, you can go to Seven Maniscalco and be like, "What's up?" Because comedy, it literally is for the people. It is such a fucking proletariat ass art that there's no loftiness to it, and that bleeds into the bar outside the room, the how comics interact with their comics. Because there's just more shit involved. You know, actors deal with so much power structure, so much. You know, casting directors, rooms that are like really stuffy. Comedy deals with none of that. It's just go in there, be funny. If you're funny, you're cool. It's very simple. And that's why I think it bleeds out into, like, I can say hi to Sebastian after a set, or fucking look at him outside of the Comedy Store in the bar, just hanging out. It's just the very nature of the art deals with the post of the art. Does that make sense? Am I making sense at all?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's interesting because in LA, it feels like there's two types of crowd. There's like show busy, I'm an actor, I'm also an artist crowd, and then there's regular people. But I started doing more and more sets in New York over the last few years, and I was at West Side Comedy Club in New York. West Side. And it was the first time I experienced like a very different audience. I was like, oh, these people are rich, trust fund, and they were they had a bit more of a make me laugh clown attitude. And I was like, oh, you don't really see that in LA. You see, like, I could do that in the crowd, or just kind of like regular people. That's
fascinating. Yeah. And also, actors love performing laughter. They're like, you know? So you might not even get some real motherfuckers in New York. I mean, those are hard crowds, but also go to Washington Heights, do a crowd that's Dominican, and they all have like 3 kids. And they're just like, I'm not about your fucking pun about the MTA, bitch. You know, like, say some real shit to me. So New York, the reason why it's the best comedy city in the world is not because it's the best comedy shows. That would make it the worst comedy city in the world if it was easy to kill. It's the best because it's the worst. It's the best comedy city because it's the hardest to kill. And you're also getting the most demographics per minute. So in one night, you're one subway right away from 8 types of demographics. You're doing the downtown hipsters. You're doing the Brooklyn rich weirdos who are, you know, trust fund kids trying to look poor. You got the Washington Heights. Then you got the Kips Bay kids, you know, who are more financy. Then you got the Bowery or Lower East Side, way more artistic. You know, so you're working this joke in one night, feasibly, with 3 demographics. You're getting a good idea of how this joke is in the zeitgeist of America. You're getting an idea, really. And that's why I think it's the best, because your jokes get so fucking, you know, pulverized through the ringer of demographics.
Yeah. I feel like COVID, even if you dressed rich before, like, nobody dresses nice now. Like, I watched a movie and someone walked in the scene with a suit. I'm like, what are you doing?
Like, what are you fucking doing, dude? Y'all making out? What are y'all, fucking right wingers? What the fuck is going on, dude? You know, and it's like, it is fucking just crazy, man, because Zoom has undone all sort of institutions, and we're all getting more money off Zoom than we have ever, you know, in just doing spots. So it's like a whole different topsy-turvy kind of situation.
Yeah. Tops only, no more pants.
Yeah, bro. Dude. And also fucking, dude, the level of, remember like when Zoom first started and everyone's kind of wearing their collared shirt, you know, oh, Zoom, gotta look at, now these Zoom shows, people got their bald hairs hanging out. Yeah. Fucking, you know, one nipple on the screen. It's fucking disgusting.
I try to bring it. I try to like put a curtain background because I'm like putting on a show. That's my kind of approach to it. But, you know, I think you got to be comfortable. It's like the same. You can't, not every comic can wear a suit on stage and feel funny or feel what they want. So, you know, everyone do you.
Who's that fucking weirdo who wears a suit and he's like, now I'm funny? That's fucking weird to me, dude. Like, you know, like no one's, when you're hanging out with your best friend, you're not wearing a suit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess it comes from the old school, like, you know, everyone's dressing up. People used to all dress up when you go out. So if you were the one guy in a hoodie, you'd feel weird, but
that'd be funny. You know, the one guy in 1955 wearing a hoodie, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. But I do have, like, as I started doing comedy more and more, there were clothes I'm like, I can't ever wear this again. Like, comedy like changed my wardrobe in a way where I'm like, I feel like I can't be funny in this, and I throw it out. I used to be like, I used to have bad day pants. I remember specifically, I lived in the East Village in New York like 10 years ago, And I had these pants that every time I wore them, it was a bad day. And I didn't have a lot of money, but I still I threw them out. I'm like, I can't have these pants. I put them on the dumpster. They were still there when I came home, but uh,
Dude, 100%, dude.
they're
If I
Echo
bought,
Unlimited pants, which is probably the problem.
I got some Echo. I got some FUBU in the back. You don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, before brown people know how to dress, their mom buys them Fat Farm and fucking FUBU. It's like,
Yeah,
what the fuck
because
is this?
it's what's at Ross. Like,
It's what's it, Ross, dude? TJ Maxx. So your mind buys you like a small FUBU, which is an XXL for Indians. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what am I wearing out here?
I remember
But
when
if
I
I
got
don't,
my first like real T-shirt, like a Stussy actual T-shirt, and I like
oh yeah,
it was like the one. I think I wore it every day for a year.
dude, I was such a disgusting pig with the shirts that I like. I had this one Tommy Hilfiger orange shirt that was like that had like I looked like a fucking traffic cone, but I thought I looked fucking sick, man. So I would wear that shirt every fucking day, dude. No washing. I mean, I was out of control, dude.
Yeah,
Disgusting. Where'd you grow up,
Vancouver, Canada.
bro? You know, I was born in Victoria.
What?
You don't know this?
My parents live in Victoria, in
The
Saanich.
fuck, bro?
Yeah.
I was born on Vancouver Island, BC, dude.
Whoa, that's where I go when I visit the fam.
Dude, how crazy is that? What the? How do we not connect over this, bro?
I don't know.
I'm still a Canadian citizen.
Oh, so you can leave when the revolution comes.
I'm already got my fucking.
You got your
goddamn
igloo,
airport
your dog
ticket,
sled, you're ready.
One second, someone's calling. One second, in a bit. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Doing that, but sorry. Yeah, bro. I love Canada. I'm a fucking huge fan.
I'm gonna figure out in Premiere how to like follow you're spinning the phone in the video. This video. I'm gonna learn all types of new. I'm gonna be clipping
trying to
things
give you
together.
I'm trying to make you better, bro.
Right.
All right. Jesus Christ.
I'm learning through this.
Go get some skills out here. Jesus.
Victoria. So yeah, we have the Canadian connection. That's good. Victoria is a great place. I've done some. They have a really good club there. Fuck, I remember. I forgot it, but I only did it once.
Yucks or some
Not
shit.
yuck yucks. It's like a one-off. Damn it.
Laugh fucks, chuckle bitch. or
No,
something.
Chuck. It's something like that. It has a laughy thing in it, but it was
Right?
like I did it with Chris Gordon, and it was fire. I was like,
yeah. The Canadians are nice. All that woke stuff, you know, the kind of like the worst type of it in Brooklyn and stuff has not reached Canada. They're actually pretty chill, you know.
yeah, we don't take ourselves as seriously for whatever reason.
I don't know what it is. It's way more cold because y'all really like Canada is just so cold that it just destroys politics. You know, there's
Right.
there's no more left right when your nuts are freezing. I feel
Yeah, it's a whole other thing. What's one of the things like you did in your career where you're like, I need to make this investment in my career, and it really you're glad you did it, and it really paid off.
moving to New York.
Moving to New York?
That was the big gamble.
where?
That was the big from Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
So I lived most of my life in Dallas, Texan boy, and I remember that was the biggest fork in my road. Is like, should I go to New York or should I do med school? And once I did go into New York, that everything came from that. All the comedy I got to do, 3 sets a night, 4 sets a night, all the connections and the friends and all the hustle and the learning, all came from New York. First time I drank was in New York. You know, I was 23. I was like a little Muslim kid. 6 years ago, I was like, all right, let's do it. That I didn't do anything for 23 years, and I did Molly and alcohol the first week I was in New York. I was
Okay.
just like, let's fucking do all of it. I
This
did
wasn't
anal
the same
second
night.
week. Was it? Yeah. I fucking candy flipped as my first drug experience. It was crazy, dude. So New York has given me everything. It turned me into a person. It gave me all the jokes that I have now. Everything is due to that decision to move to New York.
Yeah, I would say same. Like I went in my early 20s, and I was like, I don't know if I should. And someone in Canada is like, just go, and the net will form. He's like, you just do it.
Dude.
And it was like the best advice I ever got.
Oh, you moved to New York, right? You went to
Yeah.
For how long did you live there?
4 years.
Oh, and then you were just like, wow, man,
I
Usama
was-
keeps pissing everywhere.
I was in music, and the music scene was just kind of falling apart in New York. Like in terms of like the studios were closing, there wasn't as much work.
Wait. So what do you play?
No, I was like a producer, engineer, mixer. I was in the
Oh,
studio
shit.
with artists. Yeah.
Wow, were you in during the boom? Not during the boom, like when Strokes were getting big, or no? Like early aughts?
Early 2000s. I left in 2006.
Was that when it was going? I feel like the Strokes blew up then, and yeahs.
That was before.
Uh,
Yeah, that was like the last thing that was kind of there. But that was more like
was a dying
2002, 2003. was in the more Strokes era. But yeah,
Yeah.
there was still something happening. But there's a thing in New York where they tell you that, oh, it's the same amount of work here, but New York is cooler, and you're like, all right, okay, cool. And then you come to LA on a trip or two, you're like, oh no, this everything is here. Like
Dude,
all of the work is here.
dude. I mean, there are people with like shit credits in LA that have houses. Like New York has no money, but we're all poor virtuosos. Everyone here is fucking good at what they do, and then no one has any money.
Yeah, but I look at your wall and I'm like, I remember this life, and I'm like, I miss it.
Dude, I love how I live right now. I live very low overhead.
Yeah.
The money coming in is low, but the money going out is also low. I just I figured out how to live in New York. And all I do is buy clothes and eat food that I like. And then I just pay $200 per month for rent. And so I just save $8,000. I use that for my own life that I enjoy. And sometimes it's weird when girls are like, well, you live on a couch. I'm like, there's so many good things that come out of this.
Yeah.
I can buy a bomber jacket and not think about it.
Yeah. It's a couch, but it's also where I keep my money. It's my bank.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Open the couch.
That's my ATM.
Little something for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched a great documentary with Fran Lebowitz, like a classic New Yorker.
Oh yeah, I love her, dude.
Did you watch that on Netflix?
It's on my queue. Netflix knows that it's coming.
It's got this great line. She's like, nobody can afford to live in New York. Nobody can afford to move to New York, but we all figure out a way to make it work.
Everyone has like a side hustle on a side. We all have like a secret uncle or something. I mean, everyone's got something going that we use, like there's no one's situation is just, I make money here and I live here. That's, you got an aunt, you got a dad, you live on a couch, you have killed people, you're a hitman for the Russian mob. Something is going on. You live in a place that is just a lamp. You hung the lamp and that's your place. Something is going on that you do that lets you live here. It's very, very fascinating.
Yeah, she's like, I don't understand why people take vacations. I leave to make money to come back to pay for my place in New York. Like that's what I do.
So true. And leave is like 20 minutes. Like she goes to Jersey and makes $8,000, comes back. Like the money is literally just a drop away. You leave the city and you start making money. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, totally. What's one of the things that like the other side of that coin where you invested and you're like, I think this is going to be for me, and it just didn't work out. You figured out like it wasn't your path.
This is such like an uncle conversation. Like this is exactly what my brown uncle would ask me, investments,
Yeah. That's the end of the pod. It's surprised we're related.
Yeah, which is my uncle. I'm surprised I filled out your medical application. You're starting tomorrow. Right. I guess the podcast is the investment. I thought I was gonna, this conversation.
Mango Bay? This podcast. this podcast so far has done nothing for you.
Yeah, I believe that was gonna be more interesting. No, dude, the thing that I thought it was an investment didn't really pan out. Interesting question. A very interesting question. Maybe my investment into some comedy clubs. There were some clubs that I thought if I invest some time in that I was going to get a lot of stage time. Some did pan out and some did not at all. And I guess there's no way to really catch that to know which ones were and which ones weren't. Because sometimes you give all this good love to this comedy club and they change the bookers and the booker really doesn't like you as much and you lose all your spots somehow. And you realize immediately that investments into institutions is a dumb idea. Don't try to hitch your fucking ride on a place, because once that place has its own agenda, and if it doesn't always fit with you. So if you start not betting on yourself, that's the first problem. And I realized that not too late, but I lived pretty much into New York. I'm 5 years, 6 years in. I was like, damn, man, we comics, we love putting our lives into a place. It's the wrong way to go, because that place doesn't give a fuck about you, essentially. Because all it has to do is change one thing, and all of a sudden you're at the bottom of the barrel again. So bet on yourself.
That's interesting, because it's you see all the people who have a lot of power and who are moving quickly up the ranks. Is it because they've built their own audience? Because a club, What does it do? What's the biggest benefit for a comedian? It provides the audience. But if you build your own audience, and it's really building online nowadays, like you're basically inverting the power structure.
100%. And they got to pay you more to have your money come in. That's what it is. It's we are getting power slowly. We get the Chelsean model, the Dylan model.
Trevor Wallace
some
model.
comics. Was that
Trevor Wallace model?
Sure, Trevor Wallace. That's oh god, the Latif Tayour model.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll get back to you when that's really blown up. After this episode is the one.
You know, this is big. You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, but that's a good point because, like, even for me, like, I feel like, there's always we all want the viral click upload and we're huge tomorrow. But for this pod and what I've been doing, it's like every month the listener goes up and it goes up, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna keep slugging away as long as I see a positive trend in this direction and see what happens.
That's the way to go because those guys are more real anyway. And sometimes those people are not there for anything else. They're just there for that one video. So your fans aren't even that real. It's a fake fandom. It's a fake explosive fandom. But a small increase, these are people who like assessed your shit. Okay, I will get into this. I will buy. That's a powerful fan. I would love that guy more than the viral,
Yeah, because that's a there's a large audience, and then your audience is a subset of like the comedy, and then the true fans are a subset of that wide audience. And I think that's why Patreon's so powerful too, because you're like, okay, 100% these people care and are here to support.
They are putting money fucking, and if they're fucking minorities, then they really care because like white people just got money just to throw. Like Indians, they do not fucking spend shit for shit. So you get somebody to be like, yeah, I'll pay $7 a month. You're like, you must want to fuck us, because it's like the level of cheapness that our fans have. It's just, it's a pleasure to work with.
It's also though the value proposition like provided by, let's say, like Netflix. Netflix is like $10 a month for all of that. And so like if someone's giving you $10 a month on your Patreon, you're either providing them a tremendous value or they just really want to support.
The third thing is access. I think what Netflix can give you is access to people, to actors, right? So if you're gonna compete with Netflix, right, you can't compete with volume. You just can't. They got everything. But giving them the feeling of access to a person that they deem has high status, that is, Netflix can't do that. And they might start. I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. They might do this like, hey, premium membership means you can chat with Chris Hemsworth for like 20 minutes. That's gonna fucking explode the business, I think.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And also, like Netflix, you can see Netflix kind of like they have a big YouTube channel now. They're on Sirius XM now.
Watch the fuck out.
Yeah, they're kind of
Don't get it twisted. We're competing with Netflix, and it's fucking scary, bro.
We're competing with everything.
Yeah.
We're just creating like an algorithmic dragnet where like hopefully our stuff gets like next in queue.
Yeah, and now you got these ventriloquists making videos. Before they were just on the scene. Now, first of all, comics were the ones that were being seen. Musicians. Now you got this fucking Mr. Sexy Plumber on TikTok who are like, hey, this is how you fucking take a drywall. He's got a video thing going. He's got 8 million followers. Everyone's fucking monetizing their thing. And so don't even think that you're just like, it's just entertainment. You got these sexy plastic surgeons making millions off content.
Yeah.
So we're fighting everybody, bro. We're losing.
It is weird when you're like, oh, my comedy clip is huge. And then you look at like a random clip of someone playing a video game that has like 5 million plays today. And you're like, what am I doing?
It's like you're a 12-year-old Asian and you make more money in one Minecraft clip. Here's the the video game worldwide GDP is more than music and movies combined.
Yeah.
If you combine all the GDP from music and movies combined, Hollywood, everything, it's not even close to video games.
In the 60s, music was bigger than the entire film business.
Think about that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Think about that shit. Gaming is the future, and we have to everyone get on Twitch now. Jesus.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing like what's your biggest slash? Are you like comic / actor, writer, podcaster? What's like the thing you use to supplement your comedy?
The most LA question of all time.
Bro, I gotta get you over here.
Slash? Oh God. Comedian / actor. I like that. Everything I try to do is try to be funny. Anything I create anyway, and I love acting as well. But writing is a third, but I would not.
Yeah, it's the land of development. It's time to develop your story.
Dude, I'm doing some stuff, and it's just like, dude, it's fucking annoying, bro. I don't like writing scripts. I don't like doing all this shit, sitting down, typing away. It's not my favorite thing in the world. But you got to do it. You got to be like a 9-talent god now in the industry, or you can't get anywhere. Yeah, you're like, yeah. You even juggle, bro? You don't juggle?
You don't juggle yet? You got to get on the juggling.
You got to get on the juggling scene, bro.
Well, that happened in music. You used to be able to just be an artist, just be a writer. And then they're like, oh, no, the people who engineer, mix, produce, do everything are like Travis Scott. You're like, oh, let's give that guy money. Like, he can do it all and deliver.
Travis Scott's amazing. I don't want to take away from him, but it's like, you find small niche that's kind of to the side. All of a sudden, you get $1 million. It's like you just gotta find your small little fucking thing. That's hard to find now because everyone's doing it, man.
Yeah, everyone's chasing the same thing.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. Well, at least with comedy, you get to know like the person and like that person. Like,
Right.
when you're more yourself and the more like no one can be you. In music, you can kind of like do the same thing and like butt yourself right up against that other person. And in
Right.
comedy, it's a bit harder. Like you can, but
Definitely.
like it's so obvious and not as accepted, you know? In music, you can make the same song and like the same
Bro,
auto-tune, and you're like,
that's the crux. That's the crux of why music is easier, because you can play the same song for 90 years and people still love it. It's just not the same. You know, comics have to create new all the time, always. It's actually the only marker that determines whether or not you're gonna be successful or not is, can you make new shit that's good quickly? You know, that's the only thing that's gonna make a comic do comedy in 30 years. If he starts 30 years ago, it's the only thing. You see those people who like blow up too quick as comics. They do one tour, then they fucking fizzle out because the second time they do the tour, they don't have new shit, and so they just fucking die out. Everyone's like, "Yeah, I saw you, bro. I'm done with you." Once you start touring, you got to keep doing new shit constantly.
yeah, the writing every day. That Jerry Seinfeld, Tim Ferriss podcast really inspired
Right.
me. I was like, oh, hour a day, every day.
You got to.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, fucking, living on a prayer. Like last night they did that, and they're fucking killing it.
Yeah, and they're asking for it. They're like, please. They're just waiting.
Please.
They're waiting the whole concert. We don't want to hear any of this.
Prayer. Please.
We'll take it 3 times if you'll give it to us.
There's no one who's like, Chris Rock, do the one with the N-word and the I'm talking about the.
Yeah. Oh, Brian Regan though. At the end of a Brian Regan show, he'll be like, "Is there any joke that I didn't do you guys want to hear?" And they'll yell him out. He'll do them.
I guess the best comic in the world has some leeway. I guess we'll give him that. If you're the best comic in the world, they want to hear your old jokes.
Yeah, like a really good joke can be like a song. Like I've watched like Chris Rock, old Chris Rock's jokes, and I'm still laughing.
For sure.
I'm like, oh, it's so good.
But not all of it. You can't. That is a treat you cannot do the same album. Whereas in music, 19 of the same songs you did before, great. Let's keep going.
And you can augment it with lights and things and people and the new bass player.
There's a new bass player. He's got longer hair.
Boo, bring back the old bass player.
But yeah, fuck this guy. This guy sucks. Dude. And also, I've been to so many concerts when they do a new song, bro, it's fucking lame. Nobody likes it. Everyone's kind of like, yeah, perfunctorily. Nobody's really about it, They're really about the idea that there's a new song being played, that they get to see it, but they don't actually enjoy it more, I mean, I remember the last concert I've been to before COVID was Run the Jewels.
Oh,
so
great.
sick,
They're great.
amazing
I saw them at
performers.
Coachella. They were so great.
They're so fucking good.
I'm just dropping all the LA isms on you today. Coachella, /
yeah. I'm like about to say hella in like 5 seconds.
Hella.
But, hella. They were hella good, dude. Which I know is South California. Jesus fucking Christ. Everyone comes at me when I say hella in relation to LA. Everyone's like,
I've never even heard hella.
You can't even say it, dude. You say it like a brown uncle. Hella. That shit was hella good, huh? But they won't want to do a new song. They were like, hey, who wants to hear a new song? Nobody cheered. They were like, dude, what? Play Blockbuster Part 1 again, bitch. Fucking. And they fucking did. They didn't actually do the new song because like everyone was like, no.
Yeah.
No,
they don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear it, dude.
But you did like the most rock star thing in comedy, which is the AGT. It's like big lights, like you're on stage, like some person's judging you. Like
it's the last thing in comedy that everyone watches. Really, the last in this day and age, it's kind of crazy that in this stream age, it's the last show that everyone watches. It's
right.
Really like everyone watches this fucking show, and so that's why it's kind of cool. It's a vestige.
What was your experience like on that?
Very good. Until the last second. And even then, it was kind of awesome. It was so badass to fucking be a controversy on a national TV show. And by doing nothing besides my jokes that I do at clubs. I mean, all I do is be myself, and people went crazy. I'm like, this is awesome. The first set was awesome. I was terrified of Sidemen. I was scared because I had a joke that was directly, shitting on him. And I was like, this is going to be either awesome or I'm going to get booed off the stage. And so I was really nervous that entire time. I was late on the lineup, They really had me up late. And
I thought you were late.
What do you mean?
You're like, you showed up late.
Oh, yeah.
Based on what's
Toots,
happened today, I was like, okay, yeah,
Toots,
that makes sense.
where's my trailer, Toots? Biggest opportunity of my life. I'm here late. Um, no, they schedule you right at some point. And here's the thing, bro. There's some dark shit with this. Is sometimes they don't even get to you. If they don't get to you, you don't go up. Right? You don't get to go audition because they just have too many. You get bumped. Sometimes you get bumped. Sometimes you get a standing ovation, but your story isn't good enough, so they don't put you on. So hearing all this, I was like, fuck, dude. Don't even worry about getting on the show. Don't even worry about it.
The best thing you can get is the credit. It's a good thing to have on your resume, and you move on because they're making a narrative that's not about you.
It's not about you. And I got on the show 3 times. So it's like, what else do you want? 3
in one season
times on a show where, what's up?
In one season or different seasons?
In one season, right? So I got the opening round, then I got the acceptance part where I got to the live round, and then I got to, because it was COVID, and then I got to do the fucking quarterfinals. So 3 times for 8 million people. I mean, what else do you want from life, dude? I mean, like, this is as good as it gets. So I had no expectations about any of this because I heard too many horror stories of this show just like kiboshing so many acts that are amazing because they need the story. Luckily, I had a high-powered producer that was in my corner. I had a guy named John, shouts to John, my dude, and he would just fucking push me through everything. Like he was the guy like really championing me at the show, and without him, I probably wouldn't have gotten far. You know?
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you gotta have a champion.
You gotta have a champion, dude, who like works for you at these things. I mean, the behind the scenes is brutal. They'll fucking kick you up for anything, you know? Like his eye is wonky. I don't want that on national television. And it's like, John's like, listen, trust me, the wonky is in now.
Yeah.
All right. And
look at the demo.
Like,
wonky eye is in.
Yeah, is it? He has to make graphs about like wonky eyes. Like, trust me, y'all want this.
Yeah.
And he did. And I did it to him because it just blew up my shit. And you know, a lot of exposure came in. COVID fucked it up. I can't tour off AGT right now, so that kind of really is a bummer because I should have been in Boise right now doing some shit in Boise off that shit. But it's all good, man. If it's not AGT, it's gonna be something else, and you keep moving, keep hustling, and it's all just growth and awesome.
At least during COVID, New York has shows still because we're like completely shut down here.
I'll be there in second week of February. If you got something, fucking hit me up, dude. I'm trying to fucking
I haven't heard of anything happening.
What's that one spot? Fucking Jam in the Van or
Jam in the Van's happening. Yeah.
Sadra, Alessa. I hit up Sadra. No fucking reply. I'm like, bitch.
If I hear of anything, I'll definitely loop you in for sure. Speaking of COVID, last year was crazy. This year is going to be crazy. Right. We talk about goals on the podcast. What are your goals for 2021? We have a new president. Shit. We're in a new year. Are things going to change? What's up?
Dude, you think presidents really change a starving artist's life? Like, our shit's really that different? You know, like, no. We're still buying bagels, you know, at half off. We're like, it won't change that much. Yes, we'll be happier about the world, you know, hopefully. But, and I'm not even that poor. I was poor when I first came to New York. Now it's okay.
You got to lean into it. Lean into your thing.
Lean into the vibe, right?
Yeah. Who's LA now? Leaning into their story.
Right. Poverty is right, so LA. The goal is to film an hour right at the end of COVID and use that to get on Netflix. That's my main dream. I want to get on Netflix, be it on a 50-minute or a special. I want to be on Netflix and I want to tour off Netflix. That's what I want. This is my biggest dream.
Yeah.
And I'm getting closer, but it's still, we still got to fucking hustle for it, man.
It's perfect for the mom too, on Netflix.
Yeah. I want to be on, right? Even though Indian auntie knows, oh, he's on Netflix. They don't know what HBO Max is. They don't fucking know what that is. Netflix. Give me a Netflix special. Amazon Prime, get out of here. I don't want to fucking even deal with you.
And when you say you're going to film it at the end of COVID, what does that mean?
Right when it's full capacity is back on. So when people can meet full capacity, then I'm gonna organize something that week, basically.
So you have the hour, you're ready to go. And do you have a team that's helping you? Do you have a manager, agent?
Yeah, I got a manager. Lives in LA actually. She's badass. She been hustling for me and gets me a lot of acting stuff, and so it's a good mix right now. A lot of acting stuff kind of coming through audition wise. The comedy's going well, growing, and so it's all kind of like the 7-Up bottle shaking. Got the AGT, credit in the bag. Now I'm trying to get some TV credits, and then let's pop this. Let's pop this bottle.
Let's pop it. There's your Texas showing up because nobody drinks 7-Up. Are you guys?
That's a good catch.
Usama,
that's a good catch.
Thank you so much for doing the podcast. I really appreciate having you on. I'm glad we got it all together. I'm going to do some magical editing. Nobody will know what happened, who dialed in late, math. Let's do it.
You don't change anything. You just put me in whiteface. You're like, okay, that's what he meant by editing. Okay, Latif.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's a different pod, but yeah, you'll blow up from it. What's quick math? Like, how math are you? Like, are you teaching calculus or like what are you teaching these kids?
I don't have calculus kids anymore, but I used to have calculus kids. I was teaching MCAT for a little bit. Linear algebra, but I didn't even pick that one up. I'm like, dude, I forgot all that shit. But yeah, I'm pretty good though.
That'd be a good story, or like a good about like a guy who's teaching these kids like how to pass the MCAT, and then eventually the kid's gonna ask you, so did you become a doctor? And you keep every one by one, these kids just not stop becoming doctors.
They lose their trust in me at the very end. Yeah, dude.
No, the parents do.
Are we just writing the screenplay right now?
Let's write it.
LA, every time I have a conversation with an LA person, I'm like, did we just write a screenplay? Was that the energy? Because I feel like we just wrote one all of a sudden.
Yeah, I just sold it, so we got to write it now.
Yeah, bro.
I love that story about Dave Chappelle and Neil Brennan. Like Dave has a meeting or something at Sony or whatever, and then they're like, what are you working on? He's like, oh, I got this thing about weed. They're like, oh, cool, let's do it. Who are you writing it with? They're like, oh, Neil Brennan. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we want to see it. He's like, all right, I'll bring it. And he calls Neil and he's like, hey, if Sony calls, we're writing a script about weed.
Became half baked. I know. That story's amazing.
It's just like, yeah, so it's like you sell the sizzle. To quote so Kramer. Crazy, dude. Well, thanks again. Give us your podcast, your socials, all that stuff.
Usama Siddiquee. Follow me at Usama Stands Up, USAMA Stands Up. Follow my podcast with my boy Pranav at Mango Bay, YOURMANGOBAE. It's a wild podcast about brown shit, and we just get wild and sex and stuff.
Why did you change your social name from Usama bin Laden?
America's Got Talent. They were like, we don't want to have a watermark of Bin Laden on the butt. But then I did 9/11 jokes on the show, so I don't understand where that even came from.
I guess it's a lot. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there's a little bit of showbiz creeping in, managing your socials.
I know. I didn't like it. I might change it back. I have the name still. Had to wrest it from a 20-year-old kid who was like, I was keeping it for you. And I'm like, bitch, give me my fucking handle back. And dude, kid, I will end you. And he was like, all right. And I had to like coordinate with this little fucking kid.
Oh, man.
To get my handle back. Yeah.
The new one's good too. Well, thanks again. I'll let you know when it's up, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Much love, dude. Have a great time.
Later.
See ya, bro.